There's a battle between President Donald Trump and Dr. Fauci. At least that's what the media are saying. But is it true? Welcome back to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Due to popular demand, we once again present our segment, Wait, is that true? According to a lot of media, America's president and America's top doctor are at odds over the coronavirus. We sure do love us a good conflict. Here are some headlines. Dr. Anthony Fauci dismisses Trump's coronavirus Wuhan lab claims. Dr. Fauci again dismisses Wuhan lab as source of coronavirus. And Fauci just crushed Trump's theory on the origins of the coronavirus. Wait, is that true? There are several things wrong with all of those headlines. First of all, it's not like Trump is the only one saying we need to investigate whether the coronavirus came from a Wuhan lab. A lot of people are calling for an investigation, like the president of the European Commission. In fact, there's growing international pressure on China for an independent investigation into the pandemic's origins. But more importantly, a lot of media are misrepresenting what Dr. Fauci actually said. Fauci said, if you look at the evolution of the virus in bats and what's out there now, the evidence is very, very strongly leaning toward this could not have been artificially or deliberately manipulated. In other words, he says the evidence does not suggest the coronavirus was artificially created, like as a biological weapon. That's entirely different from saying it could not have been a natural virus accidentally leaked from a lab. For clarity, there are at least 4 theories out there on the origin of the coronavirus. Theory 1, wet market. This is the story Chinese state media originally reported, that the coronavirus began spreading naturally from a wet market in Wuhan that sells exotic animals. So far, this theory has not been proven, and since the wet market was shut down and thoroughly cleaned up back in January, it's hard to investigate it now. Theory 2, accidental lab leak. This theory goes that a biolab in Wuhan was doing research on bat coronaviruses, and that this one leaked accidentally. Wuhan actually has 2 biolabs, and both were doing research with bats. The one famously doing bat coronavirus research was the Level 4 Wuhan Institute of Virology. Chinese authorities have turned down U.S. requests to investigate this lab. So far, this accidental lab leak theory has not been proven because Chinese authorities have blocked any independent investigation. Theory 3, bioweapon. This theory says that the Chinese regime developed this coronavirus in a lab as a biological weapon, as in it was a genetically engineered man-made virus. This theory gained traction because in the past, the Chinese military has done research on bioweapons. That's been known as far back as 2009, when it was discussed in a U.S. State Department report. That being said, so far there is no proof that the current coronavirus was designed as a bioweapon. And obviously, Chinese authorities won't allow this investigation to happen either. Theory 4, U.S. military. Once the lab and bioweapon theories came out, the Chinese Communist Party tried to downplay them by spinning a new theory, that the coronavirus was actually started by the U.S. Army. There is no proof of this. Nor is there any proof for their other spin-off theories like, wait, it actually started in Italy. I mean France. But the point is, some of these media stories are conflating Theory 2 and Theory 3. That's really irresponsible. Trump said we should investigate whether it could have accidentally leaked from a lab. Fauci said there's no evidence it was a bioweapon. Those two ideas can exist in the same universe, unlike say, Iron Man and Batman. And as I mentioned on my other show, China Uncensored, for years the State Department had been warning about safety issues at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the Level 4 bioresearch lab. That lab was studying bat coronaviruses at the time, and that's one reason why the Trump administration wants to investigate what I had called Theory 2, an accidental lab leak. Because it doesn't have to be a bioweapon to wreak havoc on the world. Poor safety standards and a whoopsie-daisy can do that too. Now, in the original interview Dr. Fauci did with National Geographic, he was also asked about the idea that the virus could have accidentally escaped from a lab. Fauci didn't quite answer the question. He said, "But that means it was in the wild to begin with. That's why I don't get what they're talking about and why I don't spend a lot of time going in on this circular argument." It's a little confusing because Fauci appears to still be answering the question about whether the virus was wild or man-made, and not about whether the outbreak could have spread from a lab. And the reason I'm covering this topic is not to defend or justify what Dr. Fauci or Donald Trump said. It's because the Chinese regime is desperately trying to get people to not investigate what really happened. Chinese state-run Global Times says the U.S. has no authority to investigate China, and that the idea of the U.S. sending a team to investigate is absurd and unrealistic. But even taking the U.S. out of it, China has refused any kind of international or independent investigation. So when Western media's sloppy reporting also makes it seem like an investigation would be foolish, they may be playing right into China's hands. Now that's foolish. That's it for this episode of Wait, is that true? What do you think? Leave your comments below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.